This video was sponsored by the Institute for Mapping Technology, where you can learn GIS in a single day. In this video, we're going to cover how to find old topographic maps from the USGS so that you save lots of time when trying to research old areas of interest. First, we open up a browser and we want to go to store.usgs.gov. And that takes us to this site, and somewhere in this site down here is a USGS historical map collection now available to view. So we click on that and we get to this location. There's two ways to find the map. I'm going to show you the simple way for most people is going to be a historical topographic map collection search that gets to this point. The other way is to go to a map, zoom in, find your location manually. Here I just want to go find the state. I leave it as all scales, and I simply put in the nearest major city of the topo I want to search. In this case, I'm after Austin. So I click search, and we've got lots and lots of results. Let's talk about these results. First, date on map. It's not in order of time frame. It's in order by map name, followed by primary state, followed by map scale. If I'm looking for an older map, I look down the list and I see 1966, 1954, hey, a 1910, and what do you know, a 1896 and an 1897. So not all of these topos are the same. You need to look at the scale. Now this is a 1 to whatever the number is. So a 1 to 24,000 is a really zoomed in map that's going to be really good for finding the old locations of buildings and such. A really zoomed out map is the 1 to 100,000. Unfortunately, back in the day, they didn't have aerial photography in 1897, so this is probably going to be a higher resolution. I'm sorry, a low res scale, 125,000 to 1. And what's the difference between the 1896 and the 1897? Well, let's look at the metadata to find out. First one is the 1896. Who publishes it? It looks like it's the USGS. The datum is NAD 27. Well, right here I have a problem, because NAD 27 is the North American datum invented in 1927. It's a standard polyconic Lambert projection. So I'm going to back up and look at the other one, 1897. Now I feel better. It's unstated. Date on map says 1897. Survey year 1896. These are probably both the same map, but I trust this one a little bit more. Now I've already downloaded this one to my computer, so I'm going to go for the next most current one. And now we have a 1910 date on the map. 1910, 1910. Notice the resolution is the same with the one above, 125,000 to 1. But look at the imprint year, 1921, 1943. This one may have updates. That might be good, that might be bad. I really want to see what's on the ground in around 1910, not what's been updated in 1943. So this is the map I really want to go download. Let's look at the metadata. Unlisted, imprint year is the year it's printed. It looks like it's surveyed 1896, and it may be an update. So let's go download this and find out. 1910, 1921, and I click on this and it wants to download. So I'm going to go ahead and download, and I will show you what we've got. Now these sometimes can be upwards of 20 megs, so this is probably going to be about 8 or 9. But this being a PDF download, this is not raw data that can be loaded into a mapping program such as Quantum GIS. It's not GIS data, it's just a picture. So the only program we need to open it is going to be Adobe Acrobat or another PDF viewer. So when we're done, we're going to open it up, we're going to look at the PDF viewer and examine our file. And it's almost done, I suspect. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to go open this up. Notice the file itself as that's opening. Notice that the format, it always puts the state, the map name, which is Austin, and then it puts the year and then the scale and the fact it's geocoded. So let's look at the map. Well, there's the Williamson-Travis County line right there, and this looks very similar to the 1897 map I saw. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Instead of page fit width, I'm going to go to 200% so I can scroll around a little bit. Now I know there was a bar or a tavern along the old Jollyville stage line, somewhere here between Buttercup and Jollyville. So one of these buildings may or may not be that old tavern. But it's interesting that they've put dots where there's structures. And there's the core of it. And it even shows the city dam, which eventually breached during one flood. That broke and had a catastrophe. Stones Ford. It shows you fording points. It often shows you graveyards and sometimes schools. The more modern ones will give you more details. So this is an excellent resource. And this is all you're going to get. You're going to get an old map. It can't be loaded in and it can't be used for GIS purposes. But it is useful for reference. If you want to print this out, I recommend you print this out on the largest piece of paper on the largest printer you own. There's lots of data here. And that's Pilot Knob, which is an old volcano. Alright, I think that does it, and good luck. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something from it. And if you have any further interest in GIS or about learning GIS, please go to learninggis.com. We have other free data sources available, and we now offer online classes in under a day.